Hi, welcome to an unboxing video. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, welcome. If you've watched them before, welcome back. What I have today is a new pen day unboxing, and this is, you may be able to see here, this is from Edison Pen Company. This pen is a Goldspot Exclusive, and there were only 68 of these pens made, and I have number 68 of 68. So there's that. The pen itself is, the name of it is the Newark Magellanic Clouds. The Magellanic Clouds are some star clusters that I think they're in the southern hemisphere, that were discovered by the explorer Magellan. He used them when he was navigating the seas back in whatever. Anyhow, this pen wasn't, an expected planned buy for me, but when are they ever? But I saw it and it spoke to me as being a pen that I, color shading and so forth that I would love. And it was not terribly expensive, and I like my other Edison pen, so I'm like, what the heck, I'll go ahead and get it. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at it. There's a little sticker here on the end. Newark Magellanic Clouds. And that ELAF, the nib I got is the elastic fine. So, or I might have actually gotten an extra fine. Let me see if I can find my, nope, just the fine. Okay. Okay, so here's the pen. Look how pretty this is. I don't know how well the camera is picking it up, but there's beautiful chatoyance and shading on here. It almost looks like opal. Here you can see a little engraving of a cloud and the stars. Very, very pretty little design in there. Oh yeah, there you're really getting to see some of the real pretty chatoyance. So pretty. And then each pen is also engraved. So it says Edison pen and Goldspot 68 out of 68. So anyhow, I'm happy that I got this one. Beautiful pen. I think these actually line up. They will line up if you want them to. To be completely honest, I had already opened this and rinsed it out because I wanted to be able to do a writing sample and stuff with it. So here is the nib. You can see it's got the Edison nib design engraved on it there. And then you can also see the little cutouts here and here. This is what the elastic fine nibs, or what the elastic, I shouldn't say, elastic nibs have. If you have not ever used an elastic nib, I don't think they're terribly different from just a regular nib. They are not, by any stretch of the imagination, a flex nib. They just have a little bit more give than a regular stainless steel nib. This is a Yowo number 6 nib, so similar to what I have in many, many other pens. And yeah, it's got the little stamped F on it there that you may or may not be able to see, but indicating that it's a fine. But I don't know, the chatoyance in this is just gorgeous. Oh my goodness. So, so, so pretty. Yeah, I needed to have it. I did not need it. I needed to have it. These are two very, very different things that I'm sure my pen friends can relate to. It takes just like regular Edison pens, a bazillion times to unscrew it, which is a good thing. Standard international converter here. It can also be eyedroppered if you want to do that. I don't know if I would or not, because the body is kind of like not entirely transparent, but kind of. So like you can definitely see what I'm putting in here, the black of the converter, and so I mean you can definitely see the darkness in there of the converter. And depending on what part of the pen you're looking at, like through here, you can see that's the end of the converter showing through there. So I don't know if I would eyedropper this, because who knows what it's going to look like with whatever ink color you put in there. Like what if you put a bright red ink in here? Would that totally ruin it? I don't know. Maybe it would make it look even better. But I'm kind of matchy about things, and try to not have them be too far askew from what would be considered normal. So I think I will just continue to use the converter. The other inside the Edison pens, there's always a sticker that comes, a bookmark, and another bookmark that is steel, with the little pen, with the little nib thing that you can slide down over your page. So very nice. This is my second Edison pen. So I'm a little bit familiar with their setup and stuff. So, yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and put some ink in this lovely, lovely jewel of a pen. I'm going to use my standard Diamine Oxford Blue. This is, as far as I'm concerned, the perfect blue ink. It's nice and wet without being obnoxious. It flows beautifully. It doesn't cause problems. It's a beautiful color. It's all the things that you want in a perfect ink. So I'm going to pause you while I fill this up because I'm a mess. Okay, I got it inked up, but I wanted to finish just kind of going over what it looks like. So the cap finial is clear with little sparkles in it. So it's different than the resin. The resin was created by Lisa Marie, who has done other resins. I'm not sure if they've all been with Edison or what other pen companies Lisa Marie may have worked with. I don't know. But anyhow, that's who has designed this resin. But there is not really a bottom finial because this is all just one piece here on the bottom. I do love that it's easy to see the engraving of that this is Edison and the pen number, and the gold. I think I think gold looks better with this than silver might, but I don't know if you can see it, but some of the flecks of sparkle in here are gold, so but not overwhelming. So it's perfect. It's really, really, really pretty. The pen doesn't weigh anything. It is like super light. Like even now full of ink with a converter, it doesn't weigh anything. I don't have a scale. I'm not going to do all that for you. But it doesn't weigh anything. With it being a Yobo nib, you can replace it, you can unscrew it and put in a different one if you want to. So that's cool. I don't know. The pen, I guess it posts. I don't know. It doesn't, I don't want to say it makes it feel back heavy, but maybe it does a little bit. Without it, it doesn't weigh hardly anything. So I think it probably maybe feels more balanced like this. There is, looks like a, I think there's a, yeah, you can actually, I don't know if you can see it, but there is a liner, a cap liner in here. The line for it is right here. And then here's the lines, the threads where it screws in. But if there's it's basically clear, maybe off, I don't want to say off-white, but not perfectly transparent, but anyhow, there is a cap liner in here. So that would be nice to help keep the nib nice and wet between uses here. Maybe you can see it a little bit better here. The line is where the cap is. Anyhow, all right. Well, let's go ahead and do a writing sample with this. As a reminder, this is a Yowo number 6 elastic fine nib. And if you've not ever used one of these, it's just, I don't even know what to compare it to, because it's not quite like a Pilot Soft. But maybe that's the closest thing that I can compare it to, because it's not a flex. It's just a little bit softer. It gives, maybe you can do a little bit of line variation with it. So I don't know, let's just go ahead and see. First, I'm just going to write. Oh, this is nice. Very smooth, glides right across the paper. Oh, this ink is just so beautiful. Newark Clouds. 68 out of 68. This is a fine, elastic fine. Gosh, I said flex. It's an elastic. It's an elastic fine. Not a flex nib. So this was just me just writing nice and smooth. But if I want to test, or show the elasticness off a little bit, I can. You can get a little bit of line variation if you want to. But it's not intended to be used like that, like full time. It's just a nice, smooth, soft nib with maybe a little bit of bounce to it, but not, I don't know. I mean, it's definitely not a sailor, which we know I love. And it's not a flex nib. But gosh, it writes just absolutely perfectly, just gliding across the paper. Yeah, very, very nice. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it other than how beautiful it is. And how much I'm going to enjoy writing with it. But I'm going to have to get the nib and the threads lined up and know where to put it on so that I can have my... Do you see what I'm trying to do? Trying to get the little cloud and the little engraving to line up. But what a pain. Well, I'm just making it worse now. Anyhow, beautiful pen. Very, very nice writer. Nice and smooth. Just, yeah, very, very happy with this. Definitely worth, I don't know, I think I paid $1.99 for it. There we go. I think it's definitely worth that. The clip is, I don't ever pay too much attention to the clip, but nice and firm, can be used if need be, I guess. I don't pay attention to them because I don't really use them. But anyhow, that's it. That's my new pen. And the ink is Diamine Oxford Blue, which again is the perfect blue ink. Elastic fine nib. For a fine, I will say, and I've noticed this with my other elastic, it's not, like the nib is not any different, but I think maybe just because there is that little bit of bounce, it lets ink flow a little bit more. So this fine is maybe a little more fat than a regular Yowo fine nib that's not an elastic. I can still write, you know, nice and small in the Hobonichi, but I don't know that I would want to write like a whole sentence, because I tend to write pretty small anyhow, and that's why I like Japanese fine nibs when I'm like actually writing things, because then I can fit it in here. Anyhow, that's just something to be aware of with the elastic nibs. They do put out more ink, so even though there's not any flex or anything like that happening, the line is a little bit fatter than it might be with the same nib that is not elastic. But okay, well that's it. Thanks for checking in and looking at my beautiful new pen with me, and thanks to Goldspot for having it and sending it, because it's lovely. It's Friday here for me, so I'm looking forward to the weekend, and I hope wherever you are, and wherever you're watching this, that you have a good day. As usual, stay happy and healthy, and take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.